You know, the effort to celebrate Dark Shadows over the years has created many dividends for devoted fans of the ABC Gothic soap opera. We always remember Barnabas and his quest to be rid of the curse of vampirism that basically made his life literally a living hell. But what was very interesting, ladies and gentlemen, on the CBC in the late 60s and early 70s, in combination with a syndicated effort in the States, which included Metro Media, a Canadian version of Dark Shadows with some of the writers and the plot devices of Dark Shadows appeared for a number of episodes as part of multiple week arcs. Now, Strange Paradise has shown up on syndication through the years, especially in Drive-In Classics, our great Canadian channel. Now, it's not the same as Dark Shadows in any shape or form. The production and the acting is not as great or as popular as Dark Shadows. However, the plot that was set up that a major character in the show basically rejects God because of the death of a beloved, and it becomes a long-standing curse for him and his family. There's aspects of voodoo, there's aspects of Gothic horror, stage work. Now, how did it basically work? It was shown on CBC after it started in syndication in the States. Now, it got poor ratings. I think everybody thought it was going to be another Dark Shadows or just as popular, but obviously it couldn't really compete. Now, although some of the Dark Shadows writers did show up to pen episodes for Strange Paradise, but what was kind of ironic, one of the CTV affiliates that produced a lot of syndicated programs was used for the series. So you had CBC and CTV working together with two distribution in the States. Now, a lot of people probably don't know what Metro Media is. Metro Media was the major, what I call the fourth network at the time, where basically shows created by Dick Clark and different companies would show up, and sometimes independent syndication. Now, Strange Paradise used the best of the Canadian stage actors at the time. Now, I could tell you, Gordon Pinsent or Colm Feore, or a lot of the great actors of the late 60s, early 70s onward were on the show. It wasn't like that. There wasn't like the CBC, stable of actors. But again, for what it was, if you go on YouTube now, ladies and gentlemen, you can see for yourself how dedicated the actors were and the episodes. Like I said, the different plots, some of the parallels with Dark Shadows, with like servants, involving plot twists and a myriad of different characters, elite or people with a secret that is found out, Gothic romance, violence at times, the scary servants, the scary moments, the cliffhangers. Now, this show had a definite ending because when it moved back to North America from the Caribbean island, it gave you a final episode where all the plots were wrapped up. Now, you didn't really get that with Dark Shadows because with the cancellation, it was very quick. Now, why the show was so popular, I think a lot of people harken back to the effort CBC did at the time, late 60s and early 70s, to get away from, the live to tape shows to work as, not say competition for the U.S. market, but something similar to meet the popularity. Now, what really stands out for me with Strange Paradise is the nice graphics that started and ended the show. Now, if you really look at the episodes, it was very comparable. You see the Carlton Comics and the DC Comics style layout that was very popular in the mid to late 60s to the mid to late 70s. Now, how good was the show? Well, I can't really say either way, but I've talked to different people that watched the show over the years, and he said one person told me it was like a Canadian version of Dark Shadows without the overall influence of Jonathan Frid. Now, when I say that, Dark Shadows, every character that was on the show after Barnabas appeared in the early black and white episodes, everything revolved around Barnabas, because Barnabas was the straw that stirred the drink. Now, what was kind of funny, Jonathan Frid being Canadian, maybe that drew an interest, saying, okay, we know Barnabas is Canadian, so maybe let's give some of his compatriots a chance to do something similar to Dark Shadows and see what sticks. Now, I don't know how much CBC invested into the show because that CTV affiliate had existing sets. Now, it was kind of weird at the time in Canada because CTV would show programs that were created by CBC. CBC would show programs that were started by CTV or Global or I remember Storybook Theatre and different shows that would show up on occasion. Now, what was kind of funny, there wasn't many guest actors on the show because soap operas back in the day would have recurring characters. But again, there was also even books that were done of the series where they approached a Gothic writer, a Gothic romance writer, to do paperbacks. So there we have a series that has Canadian production values, Metro Media money. It has a book form, and you could get this on VHS. There was VHSs of Strange Paradise that were put out a number of years ago. I think there's over 100 episodes. So if you can find them, I guess they're a collector's item for a lot of people. Now, getting slightly off topic, I hope the Dark Shadows fans are listening. We need to get Jonathan in the Canadian Walk of Fame. There's been efforts over the last number of years to put him in. Now, if anything, I'd like to see. You know how we have Hall of Fames, there was a Veterans Committee. I don't think it helps the Walk of Fame to have somebody as prestigious as Jonathan Frid, probably the greatest soap opera actor of all time. At the height of his fame, Barnabas was the greatest hero, anti-hero in soap opera history, and still is for a lot of people. We're still talking about Dark Shadows more than 50 years after it first appeared. There's dedicated sites on Facebook, dedicated groups throughout the world. I mean, you can see him in every form. Now, Jonathan Frid is Canadian stage acting because everything he did on Dark Shadows, he dedicated to the stage acting he developed over the years. There's aspects of British stage acting, of American, but Jonathan Frid, my God, we miss him. When he passed away a few years ago, it was like a part of our Canadian history had passed away. There should be, every school in Canada should teach Jonathan Frid style acting because he took scripts they had to learn within hours and made him so important and so dedicated. And I know people that worked on Strange Paradise, for sure, when he presented lines, were saying, okay, let's look at Dark Shadows, what all the great actors, Joan Bennett, the soap opera actors did on Dark Shadows. Let's apply it in the best way. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like Dark Shadows, check out Strange Paradise. I'd like to see it show up on Tubi one of these years, and I think it's enough of an episode. It doesn't have the more than 1,000 of Dark Shadows you have to go through, because people that turn on to Dark Shadows are still going through the series as we speak. But Strange Paradise, it's a less than 200 episodes, multiple arcs. I think it should be given another chance because my tax money paid for it. Because I was paying tax as a 4-year-old, as a kid, when I bought chocolate bars, and Canadian tax money goes to the CBC. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening. Strange Paradise, a lost treasure of Canadian TV. Thanks for listening. Bye.